from the home of the Big Blue Nation, this is BBN Gameday, presented by Central Bank.
It's Tennessee Week. Welcome to BBN Gameday. I'm Mary Jo Farino.
And I'm Christy Thomas. Listen, I don't know. I'm going to speak for both of us when I say we look ready for game day. You and
yes,
I think we are dressed and ready.
100%.
Yeah, and game day is always the best day, of course. So today, we're going to get you ready for that big game. Everything you need to know about UK and Tennessee.
That includes a look back at the rivalry's biggest moments and a conversation with safeties coach Frank Buffano. The Wildcats are looking for their first win over Tennessee since 2017. And their first win in Knoxville, Christy, since 1984.
I feel good about it.
The teams have played each other 115 times. That's good for third most in the SEC. The Cats have played the Vols every year except 1919, since 1919, except 1943, when it was World War II and neither team had a football team. So a win today would give Kentucky its 11th all-time win in Knoxville. Christy, you said you feel good about it.
I do feel good about it, but do you remember the last time they went to Knoxville? It was in 2018, and they laid an egg. That was a really good Kentucky team that went down there, and they absolutely laid an egg. And I'll tell you that Mark Stoops has not forgotten that. Anybody on this coaching staff has not forgotten that. Anyone who played in that game has not forgotten that.
That was a 10-win season.
It was a perfect season, moving right along, and just went down there and absolutely laid an egg. So I don't think that same thing happens again this week. But here's what the coaches had to say.
Well, they play good defense and really probably should be 3-0. If you look at them, I mean, they lost a tough one against Ole Miss, and I think we all saw what happened down at Auburn, you know, the play that was reviewed there, but very easily could be 3-0. Have been one of the better teams in our conference for the last several years. They're committed to running the football. They believe in their plan. They're a physical team that's disciplined. They play well together. So it'll be a tremendous challenge for us.
Very good team, a team that seems to be more physical. Each year Jeremy's there, and the way they're recruiting, the way they're coaching, they're getting better at each level. And again, they're an improved football team, so we're looking forward to the challenge.
All right, speaking of recruiting, let's take a look at how these teams stack up according to 24/7 Sports. And we're looking at stars here. So Tennessee's got five stars. Says we've got 0. I might throw Justin Rogers up in there.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, look how they've recruited very similarly over the last few years. Both teams are physical programs, and so now that they've both done it kind of the same way, Christy.
Yeah, it's all about recruit and develop and who has been undervalued. And we saw guys like Josh Allen, Benny Snell. They were on, you know, when you look at this year's team, Quentin Bohanna, Boogie Watson, all these guys are coming here knowing that they're going to be developed. It doesn't matter if you're a 3-star recruit. And I can tell you this coaching staff doesn't matter. What they care about is what they see and then how that translates into their program and how they can develop these guys. So for Tennessee, 4 of those 5 stars are on their offensive line. And Kentucky has the Big Blue Wall. Well, Tennessee, I don't know. They have the Tennessee Valley Authority. It's a little hokey for me.
Yeah,
I got to be honest.
Yeah, the real TVA is like, I think, a song by Alabama.
Oh,
but
right.
It's a power source for electricity in East Tennessee. So it's kind of their way of saying their offensive line powers the offense. The Big Blue Wall is where it starts for Kentucky. I will take the Big Blue Wall any day of the week.
And John Schlarman, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. Even so, the UT offense, they struggled against Georgia last week. You know, Kentucky did as well. The Vols had a grand total of -1 yard of rushing offense. That's because the running backs only carried for 36 yards, but then Tennessee gave up 5 sacks, -40 yards. Their longest run was just 8 yards. Tennessee's averaging about 130 yards on the ground and 225 in the air when it plays well. Jarrett Guarantano versus Kentucky. Listen, he's been good against the Cats, over 500 yards and 4 TDs. Meanwhile, Kentucky's offense, can they be unpredictable? Let's take a look at the breakdown, rushing versus receivers through Kentucky's first 3 games. And you can see the differences game by game, Christy. We've had a different leading rusher every week.
Well, and that's been okay, right? I mean, for Kentucky, when you've got a stable of running backs like that, what they know, what every team that comes in to play Kentucky is going to know is that this team wants to put the ball on the ground. They didn't do that enough against Mississippi State and really didn't do it right out of the gate enough against Mississippi State. So we don't know which way the Cats are going to go today, but it's clear that they've got several guys that can hurt you, as evident by, to your point, everybody being having a different rusher every single game, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm okay with the whole idea that that you don't know who it's going to be. It's a three-headed monster. Cavassier Smoke was injured, but you've got young guys, Travis Tisdale, that can step right in and get the job done.
John McClain might see some time this afternoon too. Meanwhile, in the air, it's just the opposite. Josh Ali has led the team every week. He's had the most catches, the most yards. Real drop-off after him. Alan Daly, Akeem Hayes, who really wants to be on the field, according to his Twitter.
Yep.
But all, of course, with much lower stats than Josh Ali. Now let's take a look at today's game day forecast.
LEX 18 Chief Meteorologist Bill Meck is here. Bill, please tell me it's looking good down in Knoxville.
Looking absolutely glorious. And if you remember last week, we were talking about the Lucky Tie. Well, the Lucky Tie is back again today because it won last week. So what we're talking about today, Kentucky at Tennessee. The only bad part of this day is it's at Knoxville. But beyond that, life is going to be terrific. Lots and lots of sunshine. Absolutely glorious day for football. Kickoff temperature, we're looking right around 60 degrees. We'll be into the mid-60s by the end of the game as the Cats win. Everything glowing, and we can get rid of that disgusting orange.
I knew Bill was smart.
it.
When you got good juju with the tie, you keep it going.
Yes.
You stick with the juju. No
What
doubt.
a perfect day for football.
Yes.
All right, coming up next on BBN Game Day, my conversation with safeties coach Frank Buffano.
He'll talk about how his guys are gearing up for this big game.
You're watching BBN Game Day, presented by Central Bank and sponsored by Coca-Cola, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Kentucky Select Chevy Dealers, Kroger, Lexington Opera House, and Papa John's.
When you're out recruiting, a phone call doesn't always cut it.
You have to be there face to face.
It's the same with banking. That's why I chose Central Bank.
At Central Bank, it's easy to stay connected with online and mobile banking. But when you need someone to talk to or a quick decision made, we're right here with the products and personal service to help guide you toward your financial goals.
Think local.
Grow local.
Bank local and put Central Bank's local advantage to work for you.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? With the Kroger app, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales and rewards like fuel points, all for prices that are lower than the everyday low. So go ahead, get lower than low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Kentucky Farm Bureau has been insuring folks for more than 75 years. So, we know Kentucky. Case in point, we know the Happy Birthday song was written by a pair of Kentucky sisters. The whole song lasts only about 15 seconds. Yeah, good thing. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment.
You're watching BBN Game Day, presented by Central Bank.
Welcome back into BBN Game Day. Well, picks were aplenty. Hallelujah. When the UK defense took the field last Saturday night.
So can the Cats come close to matching that effort against the Vols today? This week I talked to the man in charge of the safeties, Frank Buffano. Well, first of all, Coach, it's Tennessee week, and there's nothing better / nothing worse than that.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's always an exciting week when you got Tennessee. It's a state rivalry, and, you know, we're excited about it, and, you know, we're going to be ready to play.
Defensively, you're coming off a historic game. One of the best defensive performances we've ever seen from a Kentucky football team. Talk about how your guys especially impacted that. Guys like Yusuf Corker and Devontae Robinson.
Yeah, you know what? We just, you know, it's a work in progress every week. We're just trying to get better. We're trying to do our job, you know, and then that's what Coach talks about. Don't try and do too much. Do your job. Trust in your teammate, the guy next to you, that he's going to do his job. And when you can collectively get all 11 doing that, then you can have some success, you know, and that's what we continue to preach and you know, play fundamental football, and things will go fine.
How glad are you to have Devontae back this year?
Oh, I'm glad to have Devontae. I'm glad to have all the guys. I mean, you know, it's an SEC schedule. It's like an NFL schedule. You know, there's no breathers. Every week, all guys on deck. I mean, all hands, everybody. You've got to be ready to play. And it's great to have him back in the room. You Yusuf Corker, Ty Agent, Quandre Mosley. Some of the young guys are coming up, Vito Tisdale, Joel Williams, Jalen Geiger. Very exciting.
So tell me about Vito. I know he's one of the true freshmen that we were all kind of looking forward to seeing play. He's seen some action on the field. Talk about the future for Vito.
I think the future's bright for Vito, and like I said, all those young freshmen that came in this year. He's just a very energetic young man. I mean, he's out there playing football. He loves the game, enjoys it. Obviously there's a little bit of a learning curve, and we're working through that right now. Just the defensive terminology, the philosophy behind what we do and why we do it, and just continuing to educate him, coach him along with all the other ones to get caught up. There is a learning curve from high school to college, and I think he's kind of seeing that. And like I said, we're continuing to coach him up and teach him in the meeting rooms and out on the field.
If you were to put together the offensive performance from Ole Miss and the defensive performance from Mississippi State, how many teams are actually better in the country than Kentucky is right now?
Not many. Not many at all, in my opinion.
I mean, that's a pretty good thing, right? And if we can get both of those working together.
Yeah, and that's the goal every week. I mean, offense, defense, and special teams. I mean, if you can get all those three areas come together and everybody just, once again, do their job, whether it's all 11 on offense, all 11 on defense, all 11 in the kicking game and return game, then it will be pretty hard to stop.
I know you guys can only control what you can control, but we've had at least one game that's been postponed for this weekend. Now, Nick Saban has turned up positive for the coronavirus. Do you have any trepidation about what's going to happen the rest of the season?
No, I don't. It's kind of eye-opening. That when these things happen, you first saw it, that I noticed it was in the NFL, seeing some of those games getting postponed, and then obviously it hit here at home. I mean, I think Missouri's postponed, LSU, Florida's postponed. I believe Alabama's still going to play. I believe so. We try and control what we control, and that's educating our guys, our own selves. You got to wear your mask, stay social distance, and then hope these testing protocols that we're doing 3 times a week are effective and accurate.
Up next on BBN Game Day, we're taking a look back at the history of the Kentucky-Tennessee football rivalry.
Yeah, you might not want to see all of it. Eli Gaines going to take us through the biggest and some of the best moments right after this.
Today tastes like a home game, like a huddle. Tastes like we're bringing the heat, and like a front row seat. Today tastes like we're a team, and it never tasted this good.
Before the victory, there's this. The first step. You dig in, work hard, win or lose, try again. Those are big. But it all starts with that first step. And to get there, we come here, to the University of Kentucky, where every moment and every victory is wildly possible.
You're watching BBN Game Day, presented by Central Bank.
Welcome back to BBN Game Day. There's plenty of history involved as the Cats travel to Knoxville to play the Vols today.
Yeah, some of it not so good. Eli Gaines has more on the long-standing rivalry as Kentucky will try to end one of its longest road losing streaks in program history.
The Kentucky-Tennessee rivalry may not be as emotional or even as intense as, say, Kentucky and Louisville, but it's got to be right up there. These two teams separated by just 2.5 hours, and plus on Saturday, Kentucky is going to try to end one of its longest road losing streaks to a single opponent in program history. Let's be real. The Kentucky-Tennessee rivalry on the gridiron has been pretty one-sided over the decades. there's been a lot of heartbreak that in part include multiple overtime defeats.
Woodson has room, tackle from behind, it's fumbled, and Tennessee is headed to Atlanta.
But recently, Kentucky has been on the winning end of a thriller.
Johnson takes it himself, looking for a first down and a touchdown, and Kentucky's back in front.
Cortisone is a hell of a drug.
Oh, but lately, it seems that Kentucky has let golden opportunities slip away against the Vols. Let's go back to 2018. Remember that year? Yeah, the year that they went 10-2. Kentucky was ranked 11th in the country, still had a shot for an SEC East crown. They went into Neyland Stadium and
Kentucky comes up empty again.
Got punched in the mouth. Then you look at last year. The Cats saw a 13-point lead slip away. Had a chance to win it at the end, but
Bowden keeps it, and he's stopped! Tennessee turns Kentucky over on downs.
Well, this year, after the Tennessee game in Knoxville, when we defeated Tennessee and finished the season 8-3, our players went down to the end zone, and I really thought they left the field. And I was getting ready to leave the field, and somebody told me that your players are down at the other end of the field, Coach. And I turned around and looked, and there our players were down leading cheers, singing My Old Kentucky Home, and on U of K, with about 10 to 13,000 fans who had come to Knoxville to watch the game.
so what's the significance of that? Oh yeah, quick history lesson. The year is 1984, the last time Kentucky defeated Tennessee in Knoxville. I was -5 years old at that time, not even born yet, and neither were any of these players who will be suiting up on Saturday. But that many losses to one of your top rivals in their stadium, that should bring extra incentive, right?
It's only a big deal once it's brought up to you, like, oh, we haven't beat them in how long? Then that gets into the back of your mind of, okay, this has become, it's already a big deal. This has become an even bigger deal now. So I'm sure for the guys, their answers are always going to be, it's just the same game. We have to come out here and play.
It's just another game. We have a long schedule and a big schedule. We play some pretty good teams, and they're one of them. So we just focused on this game like we did every other game.
To me, it's not that big of a deal of snapping a streak. It's just about going in and doing our job and winning. That's really the biggest thing. We got to go in like every other week and do our job and make sure we can put our team in the best position to win.
Steve nailed it, huh? Now this may not be the trash talk that we all want during rivalry week, but when Blue and Orange gets together on Saturdays, a lot of pride is on the line.
Well, it's important. I mean, it's a team it's always feel like it's in your side, on your side of the league. It's an East game. It's a rival game. It's our neighbor. It's an important football game.
In the studio for BBN Game Day, I'm Eli Gain.
Thank you, Eli. So, of course, the one that hurts me the worst is the 4 overtimes that was here.
Yeah. You know what? But last year, seeing that video from last year just sort of broke my heart all over again a little bit.
Yeah.
So enough of the heartache, enough of the heartbreak. We're ready. Yeah, today's the day.
Coming up next on BBN Game Day, we're going to go behind the face mask with one of the members of Kentucky's Big Blue Wall.
We'll hear why Darian Kennard chose Kentucky and what his goals are for the rest of the season. That's coming up.
That's a buffalo flatbread bullseye for my mouth to aim at.
Oh, hiding, huh?
The new grilled buffalo chicken papadilla. Tangy buffalo sauce, grilled chicken, and melty cheese for just $6. Papa John's.
Just up the road in Erlanger, Kentucky's own playing card company produces 4 billion decks of cards a year. We know because we're Kentucky's insurance company, insuring all sorts of property damage involving your auto and home, but not your house of cards. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment.
You're watching BBN Game Day, presented by Central Bank.
Welcome back to BBN Game Day. The Cats are traveling to Knoxville this weekend. It's a very familiar trip for one Wildcat.
Well, Darian Kennard knows a thing or two about Rocky Top. Let's go behind the face mask with Kentucky's junior offensive tackle.
My name is Darian Kennard. I am from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I am the right tackle for the University of Kentucky. I chose Kentucky, majority because of the fact I felt like more of a family environment. It's just everything to me is how much do you want it. If I have to show up 5 minutes early, 10 minutes early, 20 minutes early, an hour early, I'll do it. I'll make sacrifices, doesn't matter where they are. I'll make sacrifices, I'll do what needs to be done. I love the game of football because it's blessed me with many opportunities to, help my mom, help my family, help myself, become a better man, go places and do things that I wouldn't otherwise be able to do by myself. My mother, she means the world, man. She's an absolute fighter. My personal goals are to win the SEC East. Personal goals is to become the best lineman in college football. More importantly is to win. That's my goal. Be a winner in every aspect. That's my goal.
You know he wants this one today. We're going to have a few final words coming up next.
That includes our Coke Play of the Week. It's a good one, or I don't know, maybe 6. Why not? Don't go away.
When you're out recruiting, a phone call doesn't always cut it.
You have to be there face to face.
It's the same with banking. That's why I chose Central Bank.
At Central Bank, it's easy to stay connected with online and mobile banking. But when you need someone to talk to or a quick decision made, we're right here with the products and personal service to help guide you toward your financial goals.
Think local.
Grow local.
Bank local and put Central Bank's local advantage to work for you.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? With the Kroger app, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales and rewards like fuel points, all for prices that are lower than the everyday low. So go ahead, get lower than low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
When you're out recruiting, a phone call doesn't always cut it.
You have to be there face to face.
It's the same with banking. That's why I chose Central Bank.
At Central Bank, it's easy to stay connected with online and mobile banking. But when you need someone to talk to or a quick decision made, we're right here with the products and personal service to help guide you toward your financial goals.
Think local.
Grow local.
Bank local and put Central Bank's local advantage to work for you.
Costello, play fake, quick throw, near side, it's intercepted, and this may be 6. It's Josh Paschal across the 40, across the 30, 20, 10, 5, pulled down just short of the goal line. Marks, Costello dropping, throws it deep down the far sideline, and intercepted! Plenty of time. Scrambling off to his right, and he throws, and intercepted! Boogie Watson took it away from Osiris Mitchell at the goal line. Hill the setback to the right of Costello. And they look over the middle. It's intercepted. Pick 6. Touchdown, Kentucky! Steps up in the pocket. Throws and another interception for Kentucky. Perfect way to end the game on another great defensive play for Kentucky.
Listen, for this week's Coke Play of the Week, we couldn't decide.
Why would you?
So we're getting the Coke Plays of the Week. All 6 of Kentucky's interceptions against Mississippi State. And you could tell Tom Leach, the voice of the Wildcats, was so excited for those first few. And then we had so many that by the end he was like,
and there's another one.
Another
How about that one by Boogie Watson, though? I mean, he out-muscled him and flat took it away. There was the want-to, which we've seen we knew Boogie had in him. What a great game for the UK defense.
So much fun. Let's do it again today.
Let's.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of BBN Game Day.
We'll see you same time, same place next week. Until then, go Big Blue.
Go Big Blue.
BBN Game Day, presented by Central Bank and sponsored by Coca-Cola, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Kentucky Select Chevy Dealers, Kroger, Lexington Opera House, and Papa John's.